स्टार्ट कर ले श्वेता.
Good evening, everyone. It's really an absolute pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of Western India Regional Council under this WOW series. And today we are coming up with the very interesting subject, role of finances, especially in the hospitality sector. I welcome you all and will request everyone to please put your hand on your heart for the ICI motto.
य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामपुरुषो पुरुषो निर्विमाणः निर्विमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्मा तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यपि कश्चन एतद्वैता 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 एतद्वैता.
Thank you. Friends, myself, Shweta Jain, Regional Council Member, and I have with me Treasurer WIRC, CA Pinky Kedia, coordinators of today's session, Jyoti Ayya and Aishwarya Tapadia, and of course, speaker of today's session, CA Deepa Arvind. Deepa ji, welcome you at the platform of WIRC. Friends, we all know that financial manager in the industry wear many hats on their head. Because if we talk about from budgeting to cash flow management to pricing, price strategy, risk strategy, and whatnot. So when we talk about hospitality industry, this role is very important and crucial, I can say, because it includes a customer satisfaction. So strategy is really important in hospitality sector. And what is the role of financial in this sector? So this is the subject of today's session. And we have with very eminent personality, Deepa Arvind with us to talk on the subject. But before handing over to Deepa, I would request to Treasurer CA Pinky Kedia to please address to the participant.
Thank you, Shweta. And I at the outset I want to thanks our today's learned speaker here, Deepa Madam, to accept our invite to guide our members regarding the finance on hospitality sector. And for today's coordinator also, I want to thank both the coordinator Jyoti and Aishwarya for coordinating the session. And today's session is also very much important nowadays, because we all know after Corona, hospitality industry boomed like anything. All the things has been changed. Deepa Madam will explain you the things where the things has been changed. So lots of finance will need. They need lots of finance for their consumer satisfaction, because what we can say that expectation of clients also has increased. So to fulfill the consumer's expectation, they need the finance to invest in the infrastructure, to invest in the services. So this is the very crucial part to for the progress of any hospitality industry. So Deepa Madam will guide us for that. And before handing over to her, I will brief you about the thing that we have the 3 programs for women's. Like we have international RRC for Bhutan, which is on 6th July for 1 week. And details are available on WIRC website. So this is only for women right now. So I request all the participants to register for the Bhutan show. And we will do fun, masti and learning also there. And the second program is 21st June, Yoga Day. And this year, this Yoga Day is dedicated to women. So I request all the female to take care of their health, please join yoga day near about your places. And if possible, please come to BKC. We are organizing on 21st June at 11 a.m. So all the females can join. And third program is our regional conference signature in 14th June. It will start. So there are lots of programs organized by WIRC. Please visit our website WIRC of ICI and log in into the program and register the program you like. But please join in the large number, because we have to update ourselves for every programs, every updates. So thank you again for this wonderful session. And over to you, Shweta.
Thank you so much for highlighting the activities. Deepa madam, just let me brief you about, since Pinky has mentioned about this women trip, this WOW series, which we called as Women on Wednesday. This series we have started with the intention to promote women members as a faculty. So in this series, since last 3 years, we are conducting, and a lot of women members have given a chance to become a speaker, and it feels good when we see that yes, our women members are speaking, because we found very few members as a speaker, as a women chartered accountant. So, and coordinator is also a women chartered accountant. So this is just a brief about this WOW series. And we have conducted a women residential refresher course also, and international we are coming up. So anybody is interested, Pinky has also said that all the details are available on the website. So without taking much time, I would request
one more event, Sweta, we forgot.
29th of June.
1st July, CA Day.
Yes. And 29th of June also, we are having a women leader conclave, women leader conference. So whoever here is women chartered accountant, my request you to please register in a large number at Sahara Hotel. From the whole day, it's a conference for especially designed for the women chartered accountant. And also 1st July, every year, we are organizing this year also 1st July CA Day celebration, but it will be on a 2-day. 30th June morning will be a dance event and celebration, and the 1st July singing event will be there. So the details for this program also is there on our website, or you can contact any of the coordinators or any of us. So with this, and without not taking a much time, I would request to Aishwarya to please formally introduce our today's speaker. Over to you, Aishwarya.
Yes, ma'am. Hello. Thank you, ma'am. As we all know, today's topic is role of finance in hospitality sector, and we have a very good speaker with us today, CA Deepa ma'am. So Deepa ma'am is currently just a minute, okay? Deepa ma'am is I am really sorry, okay? Just 1 minute. Deepa ma'am is multi-property finance controller right now. Deepa ma'am has also worked with the Leela Place Chennai, the Leela group of hotels. So okay. Deepa ma'am is also handling a team of 17 employees across the finance control, income audit, stores, and receiving with the okay, ma'am, I am really nervous. Please give me.
Fine. Really, no issues. Of course, it's a very eminent personality. She is from Chennai and working with the Leela Group, I think, since more than so many years. Yeah, 30, I suppose. So
17 years.
Okay, 10 years, sorry. So it's really a privilege for us to be with you today. So over to you, Deepa ma'am, for the session.
Thank you so much, Ms. Shweta, Ms. Pinky, and Aishwarya. It's okay. This is how we have to give platform for women to speak. That's how we improve ourselves. We all believe in that, you know. So you have done a great job. I know this came to you in the last minute. So this always happens, no worries. So basically myself, Deepa Arvind, I have studied chartered accountancy. I'm from a small town in Kerala, which is called as Thrissur, very close to Guruvayur, if many of you would know. And from there, after qualifying, my initial this was with the Kotak Mahindra Bank, and I was the location credit head for Kotak Mahindra Bank, Kerala Southern region. Then I moved to Chennai post my marriage. I've been in the banking sector for almost 5 years. And post that, I had taken a sabbatical of 1 year. Of course, for every woman, motherhood is very important. That's what even I feel. So I became a proud mom, but I got 1 year with my son. But then I realized that I think that's not the end of the world. After doing such difficult course, after studying for so long, we should make a difference to the whole nation. So it is not the question of only your organization. I always wanted to get into this finance sector, especially because you find very less females who work in corporate also. And always it is a taboo ki women in corporate are not able to go up because of, they quit in between family things, not able to balance. I always had this thing in mind ki no, we can do it and we have to come across, you know. So that was my main motive. And what I could do is I had an opportunity to do a walk-in interview as a chartered accountant for the first hotel, which was Hyatt Regency, Chennai. I was like all of you on this session, no clue what a finance person is going to do inside a hotel. For me, I used to think, what is so complicated? होटल में क्या होता है? कमरे देते हैं, लोग रहने आते हैं, खाना खाते हैं, निकल जाते हैं बस. अभी इसके लिए why do you require a chartered accountant inside the hotel? So I was very curious, and that's the only reason I did a walk-in interview with Hyatt. And I still appreciate my first time DOF, Director of Finance of the property, who interviewed me. I think more than he asking me questions, I had asked him, sir, what we have to do? What will a CA do? What are the roles and stuff? But after coming to know, it was something which really an eye opener for me. My career started from there. So maybe it's a long story, but yes, to make it short, 14 years experience in the industry of hotel, um, very different industry, starting from the way the financials are reported, how things go and all that. So what I'll do is I'll just move into my presentation. I'm sharing my presentation for everyone's interest. Hope you are able to see my screen and I'm presenting.
As of now, no.
Are you able to see my
No,
screen?
no.
No.
1 second. Yeah. Now?
Yes, now it is visible.
Okay, great. So to start with, okay. Now every CA's role is very important. We know what we do. We do budgeting, we do forecasting, we do treasury, we do funds management, we do P&L, we do statutory audit, we do internal audit. ये तो सभी लोग करते हैं. So that's the same in, of course, in the hotel. So that's always there in the hotel, but what more? So let me just take you into the basic finance functions which are there in the hotel. The first thing for any finance department in a hotel is to find out, it is called as income audit. Hotel keeps running 24 hours, but we have to put a stop somewhere. Many people don't know this. Every day we do something called as a night audit. Jahan pe we do a cutoff at around midnight, that is early morning, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. ये भी सभी लोगों को बड़ा अजीब लगता है. So that's when the systems are cut. A night audit is run so that all the data which is there for that particular day flows into our finance tool, which will be at the back office. And again, the OPRA, which is there, or whatever PMS, the property management system, is up for the next day transaction for the hotel, for the front office. सो जैसे ही ये डेटा वापस आ जाता है हमारे पास, हमारा इनकम ऑडिट शुरू हो जाता है. So what do you mean by income audit? Income audit is nothing but whatever revenue is made in the hotel. What are the major streams of revenue? एक तो rooms which get sold. Second is your F&B, जहाँ पे restaurants होते हैं. Restaurants में all your outlets. We also have a bar. Bar is very important because there are a lot of statutory requirement for bookkeeping in bar itself. We have to follow excise law. We have to follow licenses. We should not be allowing liquor to be served beyond a certain time. There should be always a cutoff time in which the check is printed and given to the guest. All these aspects has to be monitored by the finance team. So basically food and beverage revenue, you have your banquets. Banquets is another source of revenue. जहाँ पे you do contracting with the guest, you sell your banquet area. दो तरह के रेंट इनकम होते हैं banquets में भी. One is called as a rental revenue, जहाँ पे the hall is given, the guest is happy, he will say तुम लोग छोड़ दो, we will take care, अपना event guys set up करेंगे, हम लोग अपना खाना लेके आएंगे. But generally as a 5-star hotel we don't allow that. Many other hotels allow it, so I'm just adding it. And then udhar, that is a kind of revenue. The second stream of revenue was we would have negotiated कि एक packs. What is the revenue per packs? एक बंदे के लिए 3,000 रुपया. I will have 200 people attending. A contract is signed, and then the event happens. So that is what is the banquet revenue. Other than room, other than F&B, food and beverage, these are few jargons which you'll always hear. Teesara kind of revenue is from spa, saloon, transport. Then you have your gym, spa membership, gym membership. These are the other sources. तो इसमें भी यही होता है. You will have various places. We have every place, every outlet is considered as a revenue making center. The whole P&L of a hotel is prepared in such a way that if I get into rooms, so I'll come to that later, but I'm just telling that. So these are my income sources. Now, other than this, what else? I also have areas which are available in my hotel where I allow. आपने देखा ही होगा कि there will be a handicraft shop, नहीं तो एक छोटा सा कपड़े का दुकान हो गया, या there can be a travel agency guy sitting, or you can see a currency exchanger का office, or you can also see tower rentals. ये तो most of the buildings में होता है. So in order to summarize, these are the various streams of income. The first job of a finance person, when a cutoff happens, the next day he comes, the income auditor starts checking. क्या check करता है? So there are so many reports what we prepare in the income audit, which I will just flash it here. Hope you are able to see what I'm flashing. You're able to see what I'm flashing, all of you?
Yes, yes, we are able to see.
Yeah. So basically, these are few reports which we check every day. Very interesting. Guest in house. क्यों check करना है? तो guest है अंदर तो है? No. What are the aspects? छोटे छोटे बात. Every revenue में ये देखते हैं कि कहाँ पे पैसा आता है. Whether that guest का advance हमने लिया है या उसका BTC है. BTC मतलब bill to company है या उसका credit card से authorization लिया है. So all these aspects of a guest has to be checked who is staying in house. और जो भी guest निकल चुके हैं basically who have checked out, उसके लिए ये देखना है कि revenue हमने सही चार्ज किया है, कौन से रेट पे चार्ज किया है. Because the dynamism of hotel industry is such that हमारे bar rates मतलब the rate which is applicable for that day. It is like a stock exchange. Today, if Leela Palace Chennai is sold for 14,000, tomorrow the same room will be sold for 16,000. 5 days back, before or after, the room may be sold at 13,000. So revenue management is like airline pricing. Typical two places where this revenue management plays a very important role is one, airline, second is hotel. जहां पे आपका ऑनलाइन पे चलता रहता है. रेट्स तो सुबह एक रेट हो सकता है, शाम को दूसरा रेट हो सकता है. There have been hotels where when busy time, Generally, if you look at overall India, the hotels are busy during the period from June, July till mid of March. उसके seasonal business है ये. And उसके बाद क्या होता है, मार्च से थोड़ा डाउन हो जाता है. Exams, funds restriction, closure of the year end, financial year end, and all that. April, May being summers in India, generally the business thoda down रहता है. Foreigners don't travel, people don't travel, people travel for tour, I know that, but to resort properties. So if you look at the overall hotels, you have hotels in the main cities which are called as business hotels. You have hotels which are located in the resorts which will be called as resort hotels. So resort hotels में crowd होगा. उनके लिए season is only April, May, June. जहां पे बाकी दिन तो वहां कोई जाता ही नहीं है. Or it may be in October, September, November, December जहां पे holidays होता है. So it is a very seasonal business. Due to the seasonality, the pricing is so dynamic. So finance has to always keep a watch कि मार्केट में अगर लीला ने आज 13,000 का रेट लगाया है, बाकी होटल्स का क्या रेट है. So we get a ComSet report. There are few intelligent tools which is designed, which is available in the market, which tells us what is the ComSet rates. Because कोई तो फोन पे पूछेंगे तो बताएगा नहीं ना. ITC or Taj or Hyatt will not tell me what is their rate because we are competitors in the market. So we have tools to find out. What happens is our pricing becomes dynamic. So that's one area where we have to concentrate. Second is contracting. अभी मैं बात कर रही थी banquets का. तो banquet में we something called as a grid, minimum revenue for the place. ये minimum revenue क्या होता है? Basically, if I have say 12,000 square feet ka banquet area, then 12,000 square feet has to generate so much of revenue per day for me. That is my budget. So when I sign up any contract, it is the responsibility of my finance team to see or to argue with the salesperson that minimum तो मेरे को भाई 20 लाख या 25 लाख तो इसमें से चाहिए ही, because that's my rental. उससे कम तो मैं कोई भी इवेंट नहीं ले सकती. अगर तुम वो रेंटल ले लो या लोगों को खाना खिला के दे लो, जो करना है करो, लेकिन मेरे को मिनिमम एक इवेंट से 25 लाख चाहिए. So these kind of pricing strategies where finance really get involved and advise the people. People is basically your sales who get into the market to sell the property. Now coming into food and beverage. Just to show you before going into this, I want to show you some things about rooms. So when you come into rooms, what do you mean by rooms available? हमारे inventory, आपने नाम सुना होगा. What is the inventory of your hotel? What is the rooms available in your hotel? Rooms available is nothing but अगर लीला पैलेस चेन्नई में 300 बिकने के लिए कितने कमरे हैं? How much rooms do we have which can be sold or which can be opened to the guest? So उसको बोलते हैं room available. Simple. So basically, out of the total rooms available, if you have any rooms which are out of service could be for any reason, just like उसमें R&M AC नहीं चल रहा है या कोई फर्नीचर टूट गया या उसमें पानी का लीकेज हो रहा है, तो I cannot sell that room. So basically, that many rooms into 365 days or 30 days in a month. That is the rooms available per month, per day, or per year. Another jargon word you would have heard is occupancy rate. Occupancy rate क्या है? Occupancy rate is nothing but आज मेरे पास 325 rooms हैं, मैंने भेजे 200 rooms, तो 200 rooms divided by 325 rooms, तो आज मेरा occupancy है 62%. मतलब total कमरे में कितना कमरा बिका. So that's called as occupancy rate. Next comes a jargon called ADR or ARR. Basically, it means average daily rate or average rate per room, which is ARR. So few Indian companies use ADR, some foreign companies use ARR. So it is nothing but total revenue जो हमने आज बनाया rooms का divided by total number of rooms what we sold. इसको हम लोग एवरेज डेली रेट बोलते हैं. Now getting into another, RevPAR. RevPAR मतलब कितना, what is the revenue per available daily rate, कितना रूम. तो मेरा ऑक्यूपेंसी अगर 61% है तो इनटू एडीआर. एडीआर मतलब एवरेज डेली रेट मेरा 7,000 मेरा होता है 10,000 का, तो 10,000 इंटू 61%, माई एवरेज RevPAR is 6,100. So placing the position of a hotel, RevPAR is something which is always compared along all the hotels. Now there are few other items also which is like GOP. GOP को हम लोग CGOP बोलते हैं, controllable GOP. Then you will have jargons like food cost percentage, payroll percentage. Payroll percentage, so I'm sure it will be there in other industries also. Ki total payroll divided by whatever revenue you make. So these are few jargons in hospitality which you come across. Going back to various functions, हमने income के बारे में discuss किया. So the role of a finance is to decide whether a business is viable or not through various processes which I described above. तो उसमें होता है इनकम ऑडिट. तो जो भी हमारा कमरा खत्म होके चेकआउट भी होता है, we check the bills, we see whether rates are charged properly. We have few internal SOPs which says ki you cannot allow a person more than so much of credit, so we follow that. So the SOP or the controls are similar, but the reports what we check are little different. So this is the income part. Now, to describe these functions, and then I'll go into detail. Next is something called as food and beverage controller. Then we have MIS reporting. हमारा reporting हर दिन का होता है, because I told you it's very dynamic. We send some report called as daily revenue report. हर दिन इस होटल में कितना रूम्स बिका, कितना ऑक्यूपेंसी था, कितना रूम रेवेन्यू था, कितना रेवेन्यू फूड एंड बेवरेज से मिला, and what was our revenue from other departments, total revenue, how much did you make, occupancy was what, total F&B revenue kitna tha, total F&B revenue mein how many guests came, how many number of guests are staying in the hotel, how can we take the guest count and ratio. So all these aspects are covered in our daily report. Other than the daily report, we also make few reports like revenue reports, जिसमें STR index, COMSET data, ये सब हम लोग बेचते हैं. हम लोग फिर हर 15 दिन में एक फ्लैश बनाते हैं जिसमें भी फोरकास्ट कि ठीक है, this is the scenario in next 15 days to close the month, what do you make. So every first 15th 30th, so this is an example for our company. There will be few hotels generally who do only forecasting once in a month. So we have a budget, वो तो है, but बजट से अलावा क्या, अगर बजट से कम हो रहा है तो क्यों कम हो रहा है, अगर बजट से ऊपर हो रहा है वो भी एनालिसिस होता है. हाउ कैन बी बेटर, हाउ कैन वी डू. सॉरी, आई एम just stopping for a sec. I just need to attend a call. One sec. So sorry, I had to attend this call. So basically, when I move into my presentations, so MIS reporting, so I discussed We also do budgeting and forecasting, which is very similar, like how it is done for all the people. Then we also do yeah. We also do statutory, which is there in all the companies, GSTR1, GSTR3B, ESIC, PF. But one thing what I wanted to specify here is sorry. Hope my screen is visible. If somebody can confirm, please.
Yes, ma'am, it is
Yeah,
visible.
sorry. Okay. So statutory few things is, it is very easy to do the statutory for manufacturing GSTR 13B, जो भी हमने bill कर दिया वो bill के ऊपर. But in hotel industry we always face few issues. जैसे होता है कि हमने advances ले लिए. We will have lot of advances in our books, which is for your future events, which is going to come in banquets or room advances. तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि we will have to pay GST on that also. बट नेक्स्ट मंथ ये जो हमने पे किया है वो नहीं रहेगा. इट विल बी ईदर बिल एंड देन न्यू people will be there for whom it is not billed. So the reconciliation of the deposits received, deposit consumed, deposit balance and deposit newly added is a big, big reconciliation. तो GSTR 1 फाइल करने में हमारे लिए यहाँ पे बहुत दिक्कत होता है, जहाँ पे finance really has to work out and confirm. The other aspects what as a finance person we do is compliance, internal control SOP. जो भी हमारे internal SOPs होते हैं finance के, there is always a written SOP for all aspects. So just to show you some samples, अगर आप देखोगे वही मैं दिखा रही थी. इनकम ऑडिट बोलोगे तो इनकम ऑडिट में हमको इतना सारा रिपोर्ट हर दिन निकलता है हमारे प्रॉपर्टी मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम से, जिसको हमारा फिनेंस टीम चेक करता है. सो लाइक गेस्ट इन हाउस कितने हैं, व्हाई आर वी चेकिंग गेस्ट इन हाउस, एवरीथिंग इज रिलेटेड टू मनी इन दिस रिपोर्ट. व्हाई डू वी चेक गेस्ट इन हाउस है नहीं है, हमको क्या प्रॉब्लम, ऐसा नहीं है. मेरा अगर कमरे में गेस्ट रह रहा है, if somebody is staying and if I'm not collecting money, then it's a loss of revenue for me. So that's what my team checks. Then you have complimentary rooms. बहुत सारे complimentary rooms approve हो जाता है, general manager दे देते हैं, sales दे देता है. So I'm losing the opportunity to sell. So why am I giving complimentary? I am supposed to audit it. House use. मतलब अपने ही लोग रह रहे, क्यों रह रहे? Then other than this, we give lot of discounts based on the बार रेट के ऊपर 10% दे दिया, 20% दे दिया, 30% दे दिया. Why it is being given? So my finance guys has to go through each report and check इसका क्या finance implications है. So they have to question, they have to ask, and whether there is a correct approval. So basically you will have your delegation of authority where GM can give up to this much discount, the director of finance can give this much discount, director of sales and marketing. So in order to keep a check on these people, my income team works. Other than this, क्या होता है कि कभी कभी एक बैंक्वेट का इवेंट हो गया, बट दे डोंट वांट टू पे द मनी. अभी गेस्ट खड़ा है लॉबी में, बोल रहा है सर खाना अच्छा नहीं था, मैं पे नहीं करूंगा. So these kind of things have to be handled, which all is packed in this open PM, open folio. So that means guest ने consume कर लिया, लेकिन पे करना नहीं चाहता है. So there is always a saying, no, a sale is not a sale till the time the money is realized. So we typically follow that. जब तक हमको पैसा नहीं मिले उस सेल का, वो हमारा सेल्स ही नहीं. So because I pay GST on it, so I cannot just leave it like that. So these are the aspects which finance people check, get involved, ask questions. So this is what we check in our daily reports. Now, if you look into other SOP, ये देखिए, this is for your F&B. What happens in food and beverage? Food and beverage में we think that इसमें क्या है, restaurant में आगे they sit, once you eat, they give the check, you pay the money, go out. Sorry, there are other processes. So As soon as a guest walks in and is placed on a table, a check is opened. That check opening has to be checked. And that check opened cannot be opened for more than 2 hours, 3 hours. Why? There is a time limit specified. It's a 5-star hotel. जहां पे लोग आते हैं 2-3 घंटा बैठते हैं खाना खाते हैं so up to 3 hours is okay, but I cannot have a check which is open from morning till evening. Then there is a discrepancy. So we used to think, so this was what my F&B controller checks. उसके बाद discounts. चलो इस बंदे को 50% दे दिया. Why? Then what happens is there are 3 people sitting in one table, 3 people sitting, बोलते हैं अरे यार हम लोग फैमिली है, इसको टेबल को साथ मिला दो. In a hotel industry, every table is counted for money. Though we club the tables, make people sit together, transfer the tables, the checks are transferred from one table. They will say, "Is table ka check mere pe charge kar do." All these are checked. Then basically what happens? Delay in settlements, banquet billing. हमने contract डाल दिया 200 लोगों का, लेकिन जब खाने के लिए लोग आए 250. So my guys are there, present there, counting the plate, taking signature, कि we have placed 250 plates. So the 50 people extra money is ensured to be collected. So this is what, the F&B controller does. So these are, then there is something more which comes up called as, menu engineering. What is menu engineering? So what we do is, हम लोग क्या करते हैं, we will go through the menu का recipe का costing, ये सब हमारा food and beverage controller करता है. He will take, for example, दाल बनाने के लिए 100 ग्राम दाल की जरूरत है, जीरा का जरूरत है, इसका जरूरत है, 10 items. We take the FIFO method. That's what we follow in hotels. We follow FIFO method in pricing, and weighted average is what it takes for inventory. So inventory के लिए जो भी हमारा weighted average rate रहेगा, उस rate के साथ recipe costing calculate करके बोलते हैं इस recipe का costing इतना है, तो इसका pricing minimum इतना होना चाहिए. This is also handled by a finance person. So you will ask me, is it such a big job? Because what happens is you have thousands of items in the menu, and we have our own tools, softwares, whereby the controller has to see his controller का काम is not for the money, it's for the check of the quantity. अगर 100 ग्राम दाल के बदले उसने 1 kg दाल डाल दिया, उस item का recipe costing will become 200 rupees. So then I cannot sell a dal for 250 rupees because I'm not making much money. So these are the aspects, is just an example for everyone's understanding that, we will check. So these are the roles played by finance. So income हो गया, हमारा F&B का हो गया, उसके बाद MIS reporting मैंने बोला, statutory, budgeting, compliance, SOP controls, whatever SOP, whatever is initiated is being followed in the department. कैसे करते हैं? If they don't follow, we follow up. We take approvals, we do self audits. So finance is like an auditor himself inside the hotel industry. Then nobody likes finance here. Everywhere it's the same. इसके अलावा compliance includes all the statutory returns are filed properly. We have to be very clear on our PF, ESIC, TDS, all that. Then also there is an ABC, which is called as anti-bribery and corruption. Since we are a multinational, we have that. Many of the Indian companies also, it is a big compliance. Giving bribe, taking bribe is all not allowed. So handling those kind of things is also finance job. Next is the most important thing. In order to run a hotel, hundreds of licenses, I say 50 licenses are minimum required. What are these licenses? सबसे पहले 5-star classification, fire NOC, उसके बाद हो गया fire NOC, fire का, because then you have food and safety, FSSAI, then you have corporation people who come for checking your food and stuff. You have handling all the IPL licenses, music बजाने के लिए, इसके लिए, उसके लिए. So I feel more than a manufacturing unit, the kind of licensing and work what we need to do for the hotels are really, really big, So that comes under finance. Of course, your banking, your treasury, कितने funds आते हैं, किधर deploy होता है, are we using the funds in the right way? So if you look at, we don't, our banking itself is different. For revenue, we have a separate bank account. Expenses, we have a separate bank account, and these two never gets clubbed. This I have not seen mainly in any other place. That happens only in the hotels because this gives you the correct tracking. Not only tracking, you would have seen the EDC machines, which are placed in the hotels. And most of the hotels, as you say, we require a lot of money to build it. To make a hotel operational, it takes a lot of money. As per the survey, what is done in India, a luxury hotel to be prepared, the minimum amount spent per room, that's how calculate. They see how much it is between 75 lakhs to 1.5 crores to build a single room, to make it worth technology wise in all aspect. We have to spend 1.5 crores to build one single room, which will be around 300-400 square feet. It is for luxury hotels. If it is a mid-scale hotel, 3-star, 4-star, we need to spend 30 to 50 lakhs. And if it is more less than that, around 20 to 30 lakhs. This is the kind of money spent to build one room of a hotel. So that's a kind of money management we need to do. So whatever operation money comes should not be diverted. Of course, this is a basic principle, but it is very difficult to make profit in the hotels. The main reason being we have a lot of big ticket size expenses which has to be incurred even if the guest is there, not there. So other functions include fixed assets. We handle the capex, the funding. Funding is like how I told you. If I have spent 75 lakh to 1 crore to make one room, I need to break even within 3 years. Ideal break even for any hotel is 3 years. If we can't break even in 3 years, it's going to be very tough for your finances. Then we also calculate ROI whenever any new capital item is being purchased or invested, other than the mandatory and fire and safety and security. Anything which is fire, safety, security, we don't see ROI. But anything which is related to guests also, we see the ROI. FF&E reserves, which is there for all the companies, we every year park at least 2 to 3%. It depends upon companies to companies. And this is used to refurbish a hotel. What happens with a hotel is generally the refurbishment of a hotel should start within 10 years if it has lived its life. So, अगर मेरा hotel खुला है 2010 में, suppose 2020 to 2022 my refurbishment should happen. Then only your hotel will be spick and span and clean and well maintained. Otherwise, you cannot maintain your property. So these are few things which we generally follow. Of course, accounts receivable, accounts payable, payroll, though it is there across, any of the places. So I think I've covered, I think half of the topic. Would somebody want to have any discussion till here? Hope you're able to understand what I'm saying, or am I too fast, or I just want to take a feedback before I go to the next session.
No, ma'am, we are okay actually. We are able to understand almost most of the topics.
Anyone else,
So,
any doubts or any clarifications needed, please feel
yeah,
free to
because
ask.
I don't want to go till the end and wait for questions because it's too monotonous. I've been speaking for almost 1 hour. I would really appreciate if somebody wants to understand whatever I've told, or anybody want to ask any questions, any doubts, or something to re-explain, or have I missed out something? Or because next my plan is, now I have explained what are the various functions. Then I will go detailed into income and expenses. And then we close the session, So I have covered almost everything, right? So
Deepa ma'am, I think now we are good to go. We can proceed at, I think, an income expenses part. There will be more questions as that will be more specific that we would not have experienced.
Okay, perfect. So I will continue. One sec. So guys, sorry. Hope this is not boring. If somebody is feeling this is boring, you can tell me. I can change.
Not at all. It's good to know about something about a specific sector which we have not been involved in, and getting so many insights is really, helpful.
Thank you. Okay, chalo. So let me move on. So moving on to other aspects of finances. Basically, here I don't have a presentation as such with me. What happens is we have income, we have expenses. Abhi income mein, as I told you, we have rooms, then we have F&B, and then we have other income. So if you can visualize the P&L, as I was telling you, we do a revenue profit center based P&L. So each place for me is a P&L. So rooms aa gaya, so it starts with room sales, because that we follow the uniform accounting standards in hotels. Our P&L, what is published into the websites or anybody's P&L is different. But when you go deep into our P&L, which is followed for our information management information system, it is very different. So your normal P&L is what you have seen in accounting standard ka disclosure hai, all the deferred income, adjustment, tax liability. That's there for all the P&Ls. There's nothing fun in discussing that. But when you come into the P&L of a hotel, इसमें क्या होता है? Starting में you will have the income starting from rooms. Sorry, 1 second. So अगर rooms का revenue है, what is rooms expenses? Let me explain to you in a very layman's language. You get into a room. सबसे पहले आप क्या देखते हो? You get into a room, you see the bed made nicely, you have toiletries placed. So I used to tell, एक room अगर मेरे को 16,000 rupees is my revenue, वो आप मान लो ऊपर है, उसके नीचे expenses क्या है? 1. अगर एक रूम चेकआउट होता है तो सबसे पहले उसको क्या करना पड़ता है? क्लीन करना पड़ता है. So I have expenses for cleaning expenses. We tie up with various big things and you have all your stuff for cleaning, Diversey, Johnson Diversey, chemicals and all that. After cleaning, kya karte hain? They place all the gas supplies. Gas supplies, what do you mean by gas supplies? Including the key card, what is given to you. When you swipe and open your room is an expense for the hotel. So gas supplies includes so many items. Just to sum up quickly, your key cards, your bathroom amenities, which includes your shower soap, cap, gel, loofah, your dental kit, your shaving kit, your embry board, all this. Then after guest supplies, what? Then you have guest amenities. So many people used to ask me, ma'am, what do you mean by guest supplies and guest amenity? So मैं बड़ा simple सी बोलती हूँ. Whatever things you can eat is called as guest amenity, which includes cake, chocolate, fruits, chai ka packet, Nescafe ka packet लगा दिया, दूध का लगा दिया. This is called as guest amenity. What do you mean by guest supplies? Something which you use on you. It could be a slipper. You could use the card to open. It could be a soap, shampoo, shower cap. All these are called as guest supplies. उसके बाद क्या होता है? So after your guest amenity, what else? So after guest amenity, when the room book करते हैं, I will have to pay commission. किसको commission pay करते? To the travel agents. We have OTA platforms. OTA मतलब online travel agents, which is majorly booking.com, Expedia, Make My Trip. All the online travel agents are called in a short form as OTAs. So we have to pay commission to them. So that comes as an expense. उसके बाद क्या आता है? Basically, we give vehicles for the guest to transport. So the cost, the proportionate cost of that gets charged here. What is the cost? We have a car. Car ke liye we have to fill petrol. We have to give a driver. So this too will be an expense, and any repairs and maintenance to the car. So we prepare a P&L for the car. Expenses are allocated into your room's P&L. उसके बाद क्या होता है? ये सब हमारा वेरिएबल एक्सपेंसेस हो गया. नाउ यू कीप योर टॉवल्स, यू कीप योर other items like your pillows, you have to wash. So all this where, तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं? When you wash everything in the laundry, laundry में cost बढ़ता है. तो from laundry, proportionately we allocate a cost to rooms so that it is balanced out here. उसके बाद क्या होता है? We have music and entertainment, TV. TV में channels आते हैं. We have to pay rent to the cable TV. So that comes there. उसके बाद all your uniforms, जो we issue it to the department. So this will not come every month. It will come maybe एक महीने में आ गया. And there is something called as circulation items. This includes your linen, crockery, cutlery, जो glass, tumbler, spoon, वो सब लगा के रखते हैं. That. Then you have your linen, uniforms, shoes. All these are issued to the department, but it will not be spoiled immediately. It will be in the department or used by the department for say 1 year. So इसको हम लोग जैसे ही issue कर देते हैं, we charge it out to the P&L. Other than this, expenses will be your some miscellaneous expenses up there. So from the room revenue, you reduce all this plus your payroll. Even in payroll, we allocate the payroll to the respective departments. Abhi rooms, matlab rooms is a big P&L which includes front office, housekeeping, then you have bell desk, transport. All these expenses are posted into rooms P&L. Then you get your profitability. In a hotel industry, if you see any 5-star hotel which has been in the system for almost say 10 year plus, the profitability will be something between 85, 83 to 85 to 86. There are luxury hotels whereby the ADR being 40,000, 50,000, like Oberoi's or Taj or Uday Vilas or even Leela in Udaipur, 40,000 times ADR, your profitability of rooms touch up to 90% because hardly there is any expense. Now, that gives me the profitability from rooms. Now go to F&B, food and beverage. Food and beverage may payroll, because hotel industry totally has two big elephant expenses. This, can I throw these questions to the participants? I would like to check this. Can somebody give a very blank guess? What are the two major expenses for the hotel industry? I'm sure somebody can answer me on this. Please, the floor is open. Hello. Hello.
Anyone?
Anybody? Yeah. So my question was clear. What I wanted to understand is you all have seen P&Ls in various aspects of your retail, manufacturing, service. I want to understand in a,
Madhura, I think you had raised your hand. You can answer, you can unmute and answer it.
yeah. Hello.
Madhura? I think
can
everyone has, it's there in the comment, Deepa ma'am. I think they would not be able to speak. That is why they are putting comment.
Oh.
The question and answer box.
Yeah. Electricity, payroll, food cost. Yes, that's a yes, that is right. Labor, maintenance expense, excellent. Yeah. So you are right. but I will say the two or three, the major ones is answered there. Payroll is a big junk because the whole hotel industry works with payroll. And what is the second one? Yes, HLP, heat, light, power. अगर मेरे कमरे में, even if I have guests staying, not staying, my AC of the hotel has to be on. So whether my restaurant have footfalls or not, my AC has to be on. My laundry has to function. My dishwashers has to function. So basically, all this put together, HLP is my other major junk. So in order to cover up, so these are called as fixed expenses. So if you look at the P&L, how it is presented is, I will have rooms, first P&L, rooms revenue, rooms related expenses, rooms profitability. उसके बाद F&B revenue, F&B expenses includes major payroll. Second is excellent food and beverage, which is Hitesh Israni had answered it. Food and beverage, food cost is 25% of the revenue. Generally, 23-24% is considered ideal. What we do is we do P&L outlet wise also. So when you have an all-day dining restaurant where it is a very common breakfast होता है, वैसे वाले रेस्टोरेंट में फूड कॉस्ट 23-24 रहता है. अगर कोई फाइन डाइनिंग हो गया, जैसे चाइनीज हो गया, पैन एशियन हो गया, या आपका नॉर्थ इंडियन हो गया, जैसे इफ यू सी इन आईटीसी यू हैव पेशावरी, आवर्तना, लीला में आप देखोगे जमावर, चाइना एक्सो, सिट्रस. So all these are specialty dining, जहाँ पे आपका costing goes up to 28% food cost, food and beverage cost. Whereas when you come to banquets, it is the place where the food cost is least. The reason is because that's where you have the highest food prepared, but it is on a large scale. So वहाँ पे the food cost will be ideally controlled at 16 to 17 is excellent. It can go up to 18-19. So this is the various kind of food cost which are benchmarked in our industry. So F&B का हो गया, F&B का expenses हो गया, same way cleaning supplies है, guest supplies है, जो straw देते हैं वो देते हैं, stirrer देते हैं, वो सब are considered as. Then you have printing and stationery, paper supplies, coasters हो गए, paper का napkin हो गया, all these are issued. Then you have your music and entertainment, because in some hotels you will have bands, you will have 3-piece band, you will have DJ. So all these expenses are classified under F&B. So then you get your F&B profitability. What is the ideal F&B profitability? Something ideally anything above 50% above is the profitability what an F&B gives. And if you're able to make 55, that means the restaurant or the F&B of your hotel is running excellently well. So ये F&B हो गया. इसके बाद आता है other income. Other income में आपको spa मिलेगा. Spa का profitabilities are generally at 40-45% because the major is payroll. Spa therapist होते हैं 10-12. If you have 10 rooms, so productivity wise, so we calculate all this. कि as a finance person I have to calculate productivity per treatment room हमारा revenue कितना है, per therapist हमारा revenue कितना है. All this has to be assessed. So this is one. Then transport. Transport में the hotel has its own vehicle. The transport is done in 2 ways. अगर transport guest को जो दे रहे हैं, which is included, then the cost of the transport goes to rooms P&L. लेकिन transport में किसी को हमने गाड़ी दे दिया on rent 3,000, 4,000, the related cost will be posted in transport P&L. So that's how it works. So you had profit from rooms, you had profit from F&B, you have profit from other minor operating departments, which is called as other MOD. So this gives you the total operating profit of the hotel. अभी इसमें से we have few departments which are fixed खर्चा. One, A and G, which is admin and general. जितने भी फाइनेंस डिपार्टमेंट्स हो, मेरे जीएम हमेशा बोलते रहते, हम सब लोग खर्चे वाले लोग हैं, हम कुछ कमाते नहीं है, सब पे हम लोग ज्ञान देते हैं we give ज्ञान on everything and you know we are spending department, तो खर्चे वाले लोग हैं, तो we will have lot of spends. ANG तो आपको पता है, legal fees, professional fees, rates and taxes, traveling, blah blah blah, all this comes up. Sales and marketing, now this is a very important thing for a hotel. मार्केटिंग में जब तक हम लोग खर्चा नहीं करेंगे, especially in the current trend whereby everything is digital, ट्रिप एडवाइजर से लेके योर सेबर, गूगल, हर तरह के रिव्यूज को लोग पढ़ने के बाद होटल में आते हैं. सो यू हैव टू बी ट्रिप एडवाइजर में ऊपर होना चाहिए, गूगल रिव्यूज में ऊपर होना चाहिए, आपका रेटिंग अच्छा होना चाहिए, देयर शुड नॉट बी एनी नेगेटिव फीडबैक ऑफ द गेस्ट, ऑल दिस एस्पेक्ट्स. बट इसी में हमारा सबसे ज्यादा झगड़ा होता है. वी फाइट लिटरली बिकॉज marketing comes and tell me कि I did so much of advertisement, my visibility is 1 crore. भगवान जाने. I used to tell them, guys, please don't add zeros to the right. It doesn't mean zeros doesn't have value करके right में ऐसे add करते मत जाना. It doesn't make sense. Because I used to say zero का value नहीं है बोल के you people are just adding it. 1000, lakh, 10 lakh, 1 crore कुछ भी डाल देते हैं. This is not acceptable, I used to say. So we used to analyze what is the ROI. इसमें ROI कैसे निकालेंगे? Simple है. Now my digital, we see, I advertised in Google. Google में मैंने spend किया है expenses of 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs. There are booking channels which is linked to Google whereby I got a revenue of 70 lakhs. So मेरा हो गया ना, तो एक महीने में मैंने 6 लाख spend किया, लेकिन Google के थ्रू मेरा booking 70 lakhs का हो गया. तो व्हाट इज माय रेशियो? 1:10. मैंने 6 लाख मतलब 7 लाख स्पेंड किया, सो मेरे को 10 का रिटर्न आ गया. सो दिस इज हाउ वी कैलकुलेट द आरओआई फॉर अ डिजिटल expenses what has been done. Sales and marketing is very important. On an average, we spend around 5 to 6% of our total revenue on marketing. This includes trade shows, events, we set up stalls, we go and participate in various trade shows, we go abroad, we participate in internal, we participate in wedding fairs, various kinds of travel agent fairs and all that. Another kind of karcha is R&M. Somebody had pinged, very nice. Repairs and maintenance of the property is very important. That's what I was telling you. We all look into repairs of maintenance can be split into two. One is AMC, जहां पे आपको every month या every साल fixed expense spend करना पड़ता है. What are the examples? We spend on glass cleaning, which is a continuous process. Floor polishing, which is a continuous process. We have DG, we have chiller, we have boilers. So all this has to be taken care. We have big kitchen equipments. If the maintenance has to be taken care. We have solar plants. We have windmills. This AMCs have to be done. So all these are big ticket size AMC. इसके अलावा क्या? Basically we have to do repairs and maintenance. जैसे plumber का काम हो गया, electrician का काम हो गया. You have, plumbing, electricals. You have landscaping, because landscaping is very important. Gardening, because now with all this environmental thing, we have to do rainwater harvesting, water treatment. We cannot leave bad water. So if you speak about Leela is LEED certified. We are certified in most of the audits and we are number 1. So we are very environment friendly hotel. Also, we should be also looking into carbon emission. So most probably by 2030, Leela will get certified as zero carbon emission hotel. So there are many, like ITC is already into it, Taj is already into it. There is a lot of sustainability aspect which is coming in, which is incorporated in R&M, hence the expenses are little going up, which is right. Then after this, you have your HLP, heat light power, which I already discussed. So from your gross operating income, जो बाकी 3 department ने बनाया जो profit, from that we have to take out all this. Then what you get is called as a controllable GOP. Why do you call it controllable? Simple. These are within our controls. Anything which is going up and down is within our control. Below CGOP, property tax, insurance, all this is charged off. And then what you get is called as your net GOP. There is also a concept of owned hotels, managed hotels. Many companies like Leela also, we have few of our properties which are owned by Brookfield and run by Brookfield. Matlab Leela, the brand of Leela is owned by Brookfield. ITC, they have their own hotel. Like for example, the ITC Grand Chola in Chennai, ITC in Kolkata, this is owned by ITC and managed by ITC. तो उसमें कोई खर्चा नहीं है. लेकिन now, for example, Shweta ma'am is owning a hotel, but Leela is going to manage it. Then for using my brand name, the hotel has to pay a fees, which is called as management fees. So management fees are generally of three categories: paid on revenues, paid for marketing, and paid on profit. So there are various agreements which tied up between the owner, and that's how. So once you reduce all this, what you get is called the EBITDA. EBITDA basically earnings before interest, depreciation, and tax. This gives the performance of the hotel on a larger scale. But as an owner, he will still go further. ये बोलेंगे कि मैंने इतना लोन करके खर्चा किया है. You reduce the interest on loan. So whatever you get is earnings before depreciation and tax, excluding interest. So that is the point. So what we generally see is nowadays, if you're a very good hotel doing well, after all this, your EBITDA has to be at least at after everything, owner should earn 20 to 25%. And if you speak to me, earnings before interest, depreciation, and tax, we should give at least 40-45%. So these are benchmarks which are considered as good. So I think these are the major aspects of finances. And there was a question. Now I want to take you to the global scenario. What happened? 2020, when the COVID struck us in the month of March, the most hit industry was hospitality. Everything was a standstill. Nothing moved, no travel, nothing happening. And the hotel industry suffered the highest loss, highest retrenchment. People were made to leave. How did the finance manage? Only jargon: cost control, cost reduction, multitasking. एक ही बंदा चार काम करता था. So we had to get into, that's when hotel really realized what is the importance of finance people. That is when we went deep. The whole jargon of deep dive शुरू हो गया. क्या करते थे? हर चीज पे एनालिसिस होता था, हर चीज पे. We are very lucky, finance people didn't lose job because उस टाइम पे हमको बहुत काम था. क्या करना है? पेरोल कैसे कम करना है, ये देखो कि R&M कैसे कम करना है, कौन सा हम लोग चलाएंगे, क्या बंद करेंगे, how should we manage. So like a person like me who was in the industry for almost 10 years, I knew in and out of operations. It was very useful for as a CA with my financial knowledge to advise where to park the money, what is the critical expense, how to prioritize, what expense to be done, how can the payroll be adjusted. It was a simple thing. You won't believe, हमने सभी employees को छुट्टी दे दी. So they all are eligible to encash their leave or stay at home. So they will be on paid leave. Salary भी मिलेगा, मेरा leave भी कम हो जाएगा. So these are few ways of reducing expenses but not losing employees. We also gave 30 days of advance PL. Next year का PL हमने इस साल दे दिया. What is the advantage? मेरे P&L next year में hit नहीं होगा expense, because if somebody doesn't take leave, अगर वो accrue करेगा, उसके लिए मेरे को statutory liability create करना पड़ेगा, which is not required if you are fully exhausted your leave. So दोनों का benefit हो गया, employee का भी benefit हो गया, company का भी benefit हो गया. Okay, so These are few different types of things. Very crisis management. एक्सपेंसेस हम लोग इतना एक एक चीज देखते थे कि आज 10 किलो का आलू आया है तो उसमें से कितना पकवान बना, हाउ मच यू स्पेंड, कितना बचा है. सो F&B controllers job became very very crucial. Every cost was looked very importantly. We don't issue guest supplies. हमने सोचा, of course somebody who is paying money, I cannot tell him no, I will not give you the dental kit. But then पहले हम लोग 4-4 लगाते थे लग्जरी के नाम पे, तब किसी ने एक्सपेंसेस नहीं देखा. But when COVID came, people started working out cost per occupied room. How can we reduce? How can we negotiate? अभी हम लोग मार्केट से ले रहे हैं. Can we reach out to the manufacturer? So the whole CA became a purchase management system. कहाँ पे हम लोग खर्चा कर सकते हैं, कहाँ पे हम लोग टॉयलेट रोल की जगह डस्टर्स यूज कर सकते हैं. In the kitchen, when you are using KOTs, why can't we remove the toilet, that KOT rolls, and start using dusters? Because you have a lot of linen which is lying there with you. उससे scrubber बनाओ. So how to recycle products? These all was advised by a finance person. I know, but you should have the knowledge of operations to tell this to the people, make them understand, convince. It's not easy. Then what we did, it is a big investment, but then we got into the option of solar. So I now for Leela Palace Chennai is almost 85% working on green energy. I get almost 1 crore of units in a year from my windmill and solar. So thank God our people were easy. So what did we do? We analyzed many ROI projects. We worked upon it. We slowly took the funding from the bank and we invested, which is giving benefits in the current business. So this we did it in the, because सब लोग तो free थे, revenue पे तो concentrate करने की जरूरत ही नहीं था. So what else should you do? Cost control. So these were the few aspects what we applied in the time of COVID, which really helped us to revive. And what happened is every company started doing it. So revenge travel jab shuru hua 2021, that's when we saw the ADR peaking. Every hotel which used to be, like for example, Chennai market, which used to have an average ADR of 7,000, has now moved up to 10,000, 11,000, which is a growth of 40%. So these kind of growth, no other industry saw. So whatever we saw as a dip, all those we grew in the last 2 years. So, but again, I feel we are slightly saturating current trend with the elections and all this happening. I don't know how the other industries are working, but we could really feel the pinch, because if you look at, we are people who used to track revenues daily, quarterly, monthly, daily, weekly. So we can actually see the trend in the industry, trend in the market. कौन travel, कहीं पे recession हुआ तो it is on tourism. कहीं पे एयरलाइन का प्रॉब्लम हो गया, इट इज ऑन टूरिज्म. एनी प्लेस बजट में फंडिंग कट हो गया दूसरे कंपनी का, चलो दे आर पुलिंग बैक द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स, so these kind of things we have is also where we play a very important role. So I think I've made a really detailed whatever possible time I could make. I've done a very detailed description of how things work, things move in a hotel industry. I think I'm almost done, so I would like to leave the floor open for question answers now. I can see somebody is asking of reporting of e-commerce operations and GSTR regarding room bookings through Make My Trip. So we had a very clear clarification which we received, that we will be reporting this as our own revenue, because Make My Trip is very clearly informed that they are only a facilitator and we have to show it as our billing. So everything is done from our side. So we don't give any invoices in Make My Trip's name. The complete billing goes from the hotel side. So we don't bill Make My Trip, we will bill the client. So we give a B2B also sometimes in the Make My Trip cases. So I think I'm leaving the floor open if anybody have anything to ask or. Hello.
हेलो
Yes.
हाँ मैम बोलिए
No, I'm saying I'm almost done with my session. So I'm leaving the floor open. If anybody have any questions which I can address.
ओके
I can see what are the most commonly used softwares in the hotel industry for accounting and stock taking and mapping. So um, basically, if I speak about the various softwares in we call property management, most of the hotels use Opera, which is an Oracle based company. Few of the companies use Ideas. And if you look at Opera is used in Hilton, Hyatt, Taj, Leela, Oberoi's, most of the hotels. You also have few like IDS system and those kind of systems in 3-star hotels. This is for your front office billing. With related to the billing of the F&B restaurants, Micros and Touche are the most popular ones. Now most of the people have shifted to Micros. That's also Oracle based, if I'm not wrong. So that is the main software. In finance, here in Leela, we use Sun Systems. I think many of the Hilton hotels use Sun Systems. Hyatt use iScala, which is specifically designed for Hyatt. So they use that. And few people use WinHMS also. Payroll के लिए हम लोग Alif use करते हैं. And in most of the hotels, accounting also many people use Alif systems. So these are the major softwares which are used.
Hello, Deepa.
Yeah, I have answered all the questions in the chat box also.
Okay. Any queries? Any more queries? If it's a no, just put no also in the chat box so that we understand.
Hope the session was useful. I think you can please share your feedbacks also on the chat box. It will be great for a speaker to understand that. Hope the session was okay. Maybe I would have left out small things because I didn't want to get into your normal accounting, AS, all that. तो सब लोग बोलते हैं. This is very specific to hotel industry. So as per me, I have done justice. But anybody wants anything, my email ID is already there with the Western Indian Regional Council. You can keep in touch. Otherwise, my email ID is Deepa, DEEPA dot ARVIND @ theleela.com. So you can send me any queries or something if I can help in any manner. I'm sure I could, maybe not 100%, but at least I'll get a pass mark of 80 to 85%. तो मैंने cover ही किया है सब लोगों के लिए.
The
To the
session
best
was
of my
well
ability.
done, well done.
Yeah, I'll share my email ID in the chat box. No problem. So Madhura Shah, great session. Thank you. It makes a lot. It means a lot.
So I think if there are no queries and questions, we can conclude the session now.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Deepa ma'am, on behalf of WIRC and all the participants here. Since they are not able to speak, I'll give you a well-deserved vote of thanks on behalf of everyone. Thank you
Yes.
so much for taking out the time for us and making us understand a specific sector, which is a very niche of hotel sector. So I think I have heard today for the first time for the hotel industry related specific matters. I hope to hear from you soon in the another session as well. And after listening to you, I don't think you as you mentioned at the beginning, you were giving a session after a long time. It felt like you have given a session like yesterday only, and you are like a constant speaker.
Yeah, I do a lot of speaking initially of my career times. And here, of course, my team, I keep giving gyan. So,
Okay.
so
Great.
that's always nice. And thank you so much to Western India Regional Council. Thank you to Mr. Kabra, who actually, Arpit, I should mention his name, through him, who had given this opportunity for me. And thank you for the team and giving me an opportunity to, participate and share my insightful thoughts. Please let me know. Maybe I'm not a great thought process into other aspects, but anything in the hotel industry, you want to have any panel discussions, it'll be great if I get an opportunity. And thank you so much for patiently listening to me, all of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much, ma'am. It was really great session, and I'm
Thank
really
you, Aishu.
sorry. This was my first
Hey, that's
time
okay.
actually.
Come on, Aishu. That's fine. Yeah, that's how it is. Everything has got a first time. So now that you're more confident, next time you will introduce me well.
Absolutely, ma'am. It will be my pleasure actually to introduce you. It was
Yeah.
really thank you, ma'am. It was a
Thank
good
you, dear.
session.
Thank you
We
so
learned a
much.
lot of things, new things.
Yeah.
All the
Thank-
participants, thank you for attending the session. With this, we will close the session. Thank you once again, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.